Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Marita Luke, Business Development Manager for the School of Construction and the Environment.
Good evening, I'm Marco Visick. I'm the School Development Manager for the School of Energy.
Welcome to our annual BCIT Engineering Plus panel. This year it is online for the second time. This special info session also falls in the National Engineering Month of March. Please note, this online Zoom webinar is being recorded, so by joining the session, you are providing permission to be in the recording.
And it is so wonderful to see so many of you interested in engineering. I had a lot more registered people, but not everybody is here yet, but we'll leave it at that. We'd like to acknowledge that we're gathered here on the traditional territories of the Coast Salish people, which includes the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. I'm definitely thankful to be here.
We have a lot to cover in an hour. Here is our agenda for the evening. Marco and I will give you a brief overview, then we will have our panel session, and then some time for more Q&A.
Along with Marita and I, as your moderators, we also have Ambreen Sharif from Program Advising here. Thank you so much. She's a valuable asset to our team. And she's here to answer your questions. Under the Q&A button that is on the bottom of the screen, remember the Q&A button, please put your questions in there so we can answer them properly for you. And you can ask those questions throughout the entire presentation, but you might also want to save them till the end. It's all dependent upon yourselves. One thing I will also caveat on this, Zoom is not the most friendliest to that. So if you're asking a follow-up question, we might need you to copy the original question and just give us a little bit of context, because there could be multiple. Marita and I might jump in and answer some of those questions as well. We'd also like to hear about how you heard about this session. And Marita said, oh, here, put it in here. I actually have created a poll for you. So I'm going to launch this poll right now. And we've got some options. And I don't know if you guys can see the poll right now.
Yes.
Yes, perfect. So I've given some options of what we've got. We did some radio ads, we had school promotions. We had some promotion at the Big Info a couple of weeks ago. So if you could all pop in and answer there, and I'll just give it a moment. I want to make sure that we're using the right promotions to tell you about what it is that we're doing here.
That's great to see everybody responding.
Fantastic. Yes, a great response. And it also tells me that you can all hear us. We are at, just two more people. Come on, two more people. All right. I think what I'll do is I'll end that poll now so we can go on, continue. So thank you all very much. It looks like I'm just going to share these results a little bit. Where the most popular is that the schools are promoting it for us, which is fantastic to know. Thanks so much. Can you all see that? Wonderful.
Yes, thank you, Marco. Thanks for doing this poll. That's awesome. We sure have come a long way since 1964, when we had one campus with 647 students. BCIT is now one of the largest post-secondary institutions in British Columbia, with nearly 50,000 students, 5 campuses, as well as satellite locations province-wide. The campuses include the main campus, Burnaby, or Aerospace in Richmond, downtown in Vancouver, Marine, and Annacis Island.
We offer practical career credentials designed for the workplace, which includes master's and bachelor's degrees, diplomas, certificates, and micro-credentials. They're spanning across the applied and natural sciences, business and media, computing and information technology, health sciences, trades and apprenticeship, and the reason why we are all here this evening, engineering. We do have 6 schools of study at BCIT: business, computing and academic studies, construction and the environment, energy, health sciences, and transportation.
And next slide. And I think the poll, I think we move that out of the way if you haven't already. Before we begin our panel session, we'd like to give a shout out to some of our upcoming engineering info sessions. Please visit www.bcit.ca/info sessions and register. You'll also see many other engineering programs at bcit.ca Women in Engineering. For the School of Construction and the Environment, we have the Construction Management Bachelor of Technology degree info session on March 7th. Then we have Civil Engineering, GIS, Community Energy Management on March 9th, and Geomatics on March 10th. And I have a special guest here from the School of Construction, and it's our very own faculty, Shauna Weberi from the Mining Degree Program, to say a few words.
Thanks, Marita. Thanks, Marco. As Marita said, my name is Shauna. I'm actually a geologist, and I am an instructor and student coordinator in the Mineral Exploration and Mining Department. I just want to share a little bit with you about our department and our programs. So we offer 2 programs to pursue a career in the mineral resource industry anywhere around the world. Graduates from our 2-year technology diploma and our 4-year nationally accredited engineering degree are equipped with hands-on knowledge and skills to work in nearly every corner of the industry, including fieldwork, project evaluations, mine operations, service providers, equipment manufacturers, technology. Our graduates can do just about anything. Now, clean technologies such as solar panels and electric cars, mobile phones and tablets, medical devices, satellites, bicycles, health supplements. You know, there's hardly a facet in our world that doesn't rely on raw materials that are extracted from the earth through mining. Now, as I mentioned, our students are uniquely positioned to seize career opportunities across the full mine cycle. And that's because our curriculum caters to the demands of the industry. Sustainability, Indigenous awareness, corporate social responsibility, innovation in mining, reclamation and closure design. These are just a few of the courses that we offer that are hard to find in similar programs at other institutions across Canada or even around the world. Now, it's not all about what you learn in the classroom. We have several field trips and field courses, and it's a big reason why students choose to pursue their education in the mineral industry at BCIT. These outside the classroom opportunities allow our students to put their knowledge into practice in the field nearly every year of the program. In fact, I'll be taking our 1st and 2nd year students on a field trip up along the Sunshine Coast and across to Vancouver Island in just a few weeks. There's no need to wait until you graduate to apply your knowledge on the job. Now, speaking of jobs, major and emerging companies based in Metro Vancouver, across Canada and around the world are actually knocking on our virtual door, if you will, looking for graduates and summer students to fill the vacancies they currently have or that they will have in the near future. This is great for both our technology diploma and engineering degree students. Now, finally, one last brag, if I can. Another reason why you definitely might want to consider mining programs is that since our students joined the Canadian Mining Games competition, which is an inter-university across Canada student organized competition that's held every year, and actually they're doing it online this weekend, 3 years ago. So ever since they joined 3 years ago, our students have placed in the top 3 in no fewer than 6 of the 15 events held every year, and with several first place finishes. So their performance attests to not just their hard work, of course, but the relevancy and the currency of the curriculum, and really the faculty industry experience that we impart upon our students in our teaching. And it really is the hands-on applied knowledge and job-ready aptitude that the students gain during BCIT that really facilitates their success in this competition. So after all of this, if the prospect of a career in earth sciences or mining engineering here in BC or nearly anywhere in the world is of interest to you, please be sure to register for our info session, which is next Tuesday, March 8th at 5 p.m. To find out more. And you can register and find out more about our program at bcit.ca/mining. Thanks, Marina. Thanks, Marco.
Thank you, Shauna. That was a good plug there.
Thank you, Shauna. That was a great plug, actually.
I do what I can. Thanks.
We had, as I had highlighted to all of you, we are covering and working with 3 different alumni and students that are from civil, electrical and marine this evening. So thank you, Shauna. That was really a great opportunity to feature mining as well. For the School of Energy, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and even our mechatronics and robotics information sessions are happening on Monday, March the 7th. And they are going to be back-to-back 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, as I do recognize that those of you might want to find out specifics about each of those and decide which one of the engineering fields you'd like to go into. I also have power engineering and industrial instrumentation and process control happening on Thursday, March the 10th. Do find those at bcit.ca/info sessions, and you'll be able to find that under the engineering umbrella. For the School of Transportation, we have the aircraft maintenance engineering category M, the aircraft gas turbine technician, and the aircraft maintenance engineer E, which is the electronics, info session on April 21st and July 28th. So we've got 2 offerings there for you.
Thank you, Marco. So we will now begin with the panel discussion, then a short Q&A. Today, we are very fortunate to have these amazing women in engineering here to share their stories and experience with us.
There will be about 4 panel questions, and after that, we should have time to take some questions from the audience. Please feel free to add questions throughout our session in the chat. And I do want to just ask one person in the audience here this evening, and I'm just going to pick somebody at random. And I think I almost want to ask Rory, because he's been here the longest. Could you just pop a question in the Q&A for me to ensure that it is working okay? And if you could just pop in saying something like, how are you? And I am not seeing it, so I'm wanting to know if there's an issue with the Q&A at all.
Yes, I was wondering about this, Marco.
Oh, it is working. Thank you.
Oh,
Rory, so
perfect.
much.
Okay, great. Just wanted to make sure, because I was like, I'm not seeing any questions yet.
Clearly,
Okay.
we're doing a great job answering all their questions already. So we've anticipated them. So
Exactly.
Okay, let's get started and let everybody.
Yeah. Thanks for everybody's patience here. And so let's start off. Please, this is to all the panelists, please give us a 2-minute approximately introduction. This can include your program and a description of some of the interesting things you've studied and where you're working. And let's start with Alyssa first.
Hi, Marita. Thanks for having me today.
Hey.
Hey. So my background is in civil engineering. I started the program at BCIT in 2013. I did the diploma program, followed by a year of work before returning and finishing my 4-year degree. So I have a bachelor's in civil engineering from BCIT, and I have a master's in civil engineering in sustainable urban systems and engineering leadership from the University of Toronto. Right now, I work at BINI, which is a West Coast civil engineering and beyond company. And I work in land development. So I work with developers who are densifying city centers around Vancouver. So every day I get to work on designs that have a direct impact on my community, and kind of building the roadworks and utility systems that keep the city running.
Wow, thank you, Alyssa. And I know we have more questions for you. And can we next have Ming?
Yeah, hello, I'm Ming. I'm currently a 4th-year electrical engineering student at BCIT. And in a few months, I'm about to graduate, so excited, but also nervous. So yeah, I'm hoping, can get some Elisa, from some insight working in the industry. But yeah, so something I learned interesting throughout my 4 year at BCIT, I feel like I really enjoyed all my microcontroller courses, from learning that how ones and zeros can be the core of digital computer, to be able to program some microcontroller, to interact with some sensors like a accelerometer, and then to be able to design an embedded system that have real world constraint that meets those constraints. And then I feel like the whole process it took a long time, right? And then it felt like, I'm learning bits and pieces and eventually put them together. It's like building a Lego, right? You have pieces and you put them together, now you have a tower. That's how my learning process at BCIT felt like. And I also really enjoyed my C++ coding courses. We did a lot of interesting projects involving programming and machine vision, and also robots. And then so I really enjoyed that course, and then definitely super excited about it as well. Yeah, so that's all.
Thank you, Yan Ming. That's excellent. I love your enthusiasm, and I love that you love Lego too. And Anna, want to tell us a little about yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Anna Cross. Thank you for having me here, and thank you for everyone showing up to this inspiring event. A little intro about me. I am currently in my 3rd year of BCIT's Marine Engineering Cadet Program. The program is 4 years in total. However, students are actually able to take their 4th class Marine Engineering licensing exam at the end of our 3rd year. So I'm about 4 months away from being able to do my exam and become a licensed engineering officer. So I'm almost there. In my program, we study many different things: thermodynamics, electricity, diesel mechanics, refrigeration, HVAC systems, lots of automation and control, even more so as the world progresses, ship construction, and technical drawing, even so. Lots of physics and math as well. I also work for BC Ferries as an engine room assistant, which is basically like an entry-level position as an engineer, unlicensed engineer, I would call it. My job right now involves monitoring the ship's various machinery, performing regular maintenance and tests on all machinery and equipment on board, lots and lots of cleaning, quite a lot of chemicals, oil, and carbon residue I have to deal with, and monitoring and controlling electrical distribution for the ship as well. We're kind of like the jack of all trades, I would say.
Or you mean Jill of all trades?
Jill of all trades, damn straight.
Oh, Anna, thanks for sharing that. It sounds like a lot of work to me, but it looks
It's
like you
fun.
enjoy it.
Absolutely, I do. Thank you.
It really does sound that all of you enjoy it. And thank you all for providing that for us. So I'm going to ask the next question, and that is, what about engineering intrigued you? And let's start with Alyssa again, just because it's we'll keep it in order. How does that sound?
For
I mixed
sure,
it
keep
around.
things consistent, and keep everything moving along here quickly. Well, you know what I want to explain here is, when I was in high school, I didn't realize yet that I wanted to be an engineer. My mom had told me for many years that I'd be really good at engineering. And I think in my head, I kind of had a picture of, sitting, I had always heard, math plus science equals engineering. And I kind of pictured sitting behind a desk, plugging away at a bunch of calculations, like an Excel robot. And I thought that I wanted to be an architect, because they get to design all of these pretty buildings. And I came to a BCIT Big Info session, and I chatted with a bunch of the different programs, and I really connected with one of the professors from the civil engineering program, who encouraged me to come out and sit in on some classes for a couple days. And I really got a better picture of what engineering looks like. both in school and kind of on a day-to-day basis. And what I really took away from that experience is that engineering is math plus science plus creativity. I have a direct link to the world around me through the work that I'm doing, and I'm applying creative problem solving skills on a day-to-day basis to make the world around me work better. And that's something that's really valuable to me in my career.
Great. I love that answer. Ming, over to you.
Hey, for me, I think I like the application aspect of engineering. So imagine that, tomorrow, right? Some brilliant scientists came up with a brand new battery technology, right? That solves all our battery problem. And, they're going to get a Nobel Prize for that, right? It's great. But they will need engineers to take this technology and implement and integrate it with our current system, right? And then that's what engineers do. And then that's what engineers do. And then for me, the aspect of taking a technology and give it life and then realize it in our real world, that's what I like about engineering.
Fantastic. Love that. I love all these answers. Okay, Anna, let's get another one from you. Let's get another great answer from you.
Okay, well, lots intrigued me about engineering, but I'll tell my story at least. I discovered how compatible marine engineering was with my personality while I was working on the northern routes for BC ferries. I used to be a catering attendant. So I was in my third year of sociology at UVic, and I had never allowed myself to consider engineering, as I had always thought of myself as an artist per se. During my time working up north, I got to know the engineers and noticed they had similar personality traits to me, and I sort of naturally gravitated towards them. I noticed they were extremely curious about everything. A lot of them were passionate about art and creativity, which very much shocked me. They wanted to have a real physical impact on the world, and I've always wanted that. They had a very strong natural intuition. And I also noticed they possessed a lot of qualities that I aspired to gain as well. Some of those were a limitless capacity to solve difficult issues. Nothing gets an engineer more excited than something unsolvable. They also had an innate drive to continue to learn and expand their minds for the rest of their lives, which I noticed gave them a childlike quality, which I wanted to keep as I grew older. And ultimately, what I wanted from this and what I felt like I could gain from engineering was ultimate independence in the world and how I operated in the world. I felt like I didn't need to rely on anyone. And that's true. It's giving me many skills to help me succeed in life.
Amazing. I want to be a child again.
It's a great feeling.
Alyssa, did you have something to add?
Nope, I clicked that button by mistake.
Oh, all right, not a problem.
Oh,
Thanks so much, Anna.
Marco, I think we need to mention to everyone that if you have a question, just put it in the Q&A, not the chat.
Absolutely, thank you, and yes, thanks for reminding everybody the Q&A function, please, and thank you. I do want to keep this rolling as it is after 5:30 already. Where's the time going tonight? So the next question for you is, and this is going to be for those of you working, Anna and Alyssa. So Ming, you get to sit this one out a little. Tell us your transition to the workforce after graduation. Were there any unexpected challenges that you had to overcome? Let's start with Alyssa. Let's keep some consistency.
Yeah, so I think that my education at BCIT really set me up well for the transition into my career. I actually found my job through my courses at BCIT and through the connections that I made with societies that I worked with as a student. I think two pieces of advice that I'd give for transitioning into the workforce. One is kind of from the technical side. When we're in school, we're always chasing grades, especially if you're looking at starting engineering, or as you go through your engineering education, you're trying to get the highest grade that you can. You're chasing that 100%. And out in the real world, there are no 100%. And so being able to deprogram from that is really important as you transition into the workplace, where it's all about coming up with a creative solution, because there's multiple solutions to any given problem. And I think the other important thing is just to seek out good support systems, finding a company that really values you, where you get to work with people who have your back, and getting out there and finding there's all sorts of industry associations, and getting involved and building a support system around you, I think is really important as you are learning your career, and because we want to see people stick with it.
Fantastic. Love that. And I think that a lot of what you said really applies to life in general. So thanks so much for that. Yan Ming, learn from these guys. You're graduating soon, so this will be valuable for you. Just before I get to Anna, Alyssa, there is a question in the Q&A that's specific for you. So if you don't mind, give them a little shout out there and see if they can help that out. But Anna, you go and tell us, what was the transition like for you?
Well, I haven't fully transitioned to being an actual officer yet. But I will say that working on ships and in an engine room environment in general prior to getting my ticket is going to help a lot, because the marine world is an entire world itself, and there's so much more than the actual job that you have to learn to be successful. I think the biggest challenge will probably be getting comfortable with all the legal responsibilities and real world responsibilities that come along with being an actual licensed officer. So I'm looking forward to that first day as a fourth engineer.
Exciting, so exciting. Thank you so much. And just one quick one for you, Yan Ming. Have you got any work lined up yet?
Sorry?
Do you have a company that you're planning to work with yet?
Not yet. I'm still looking at, and I think when looking for jobs, also very important, like Elisa said, that you have to really look at a company to see whether they have a support system for you in place, whether they actually value you as an employee, right? So I think there's a lot of things to consider, and yeah, it's gonna be a hard decision.
Absolutely. Thank you all. Marita, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Marco, and great answers, everyone. This is our last question before we go into Q&A, and it's for all of the panelists. And what advice do you have for students who want to achieve a career or pursue a program similar to yours? So, Alyssa?
Thanks, Marita. I think my top piece of advice is to get involved. Get involved before you get into university, while you're at school, and then as you transition into the workplace. That's where you're going to build connections that are going to stay with you throughout your career. And it's also how you set yourself apart. On paper, a lot of graduates tend to look the same. You've all taken the same courses. You all have the same knowledge, especially when we're coming from BCIT, at least in the civil program, everyone takes the same set of courses. And how you differentiate yourself is what types of projects you go after for your industry-sponsored studies, or what organizations you get involved with while you're at school. And showing that kind of initiative and finding places where you can apply your passions is what's going to set you apart from other applicants, and help you learn where you want to be in the industry.
Thank you, Alyssa. And Yan Ming?
Okay. I will go. I think what is really, I don't want to scare anyone away, but I have to say that for my program, in first semester, we had like 120 something people in the class. And then by the second semester, we have 80 something. And then right now I'm in the degree program, right? I only have like 28 people in the class. So imagine from 100 something to 20 something. There's a lot of people disappeared. So I would say definitely competition is very competitive for sure. And then I definitely, in my first year, I definitely had a lot of pressure on my shoulder, thinking that, oh, I have to get this GPA, I have to do this, I have to do this. And it was not easy for sure. And then, but afterwards, I think after first year, and then you went through the whole process of dropping out and then seeing the people exponentially disappeared around you. And then I think like Elisa said, right, once you are past that stage, you have to start thinking about, instead of GPA, you have to start thinking about what projects you'll be doing, right? And then how do you set yourself apart from the rest? Yes, those things has to be considered. At the same time, I would say don't give yourself too much pressure because it's not good for your mental health.
Good point, Ming.
And I'm
Yeah.
I'm going to throw in some caveats here for everybody that is listening. Yes, we do take in 120. Bear with me for just a moment. I was looking for the numbers, but we do bring in 124 as potential students into the first year of electrical. But our degree program, we only take in 30 into the third and fourth year, and it does become a competitive entry program after year one. So don't think that the attrition is that bad in our program. It is a very tough program in the sense that we are going to make sure that you are successful in your career, but we don't offer a degree program for everyone. There is a 2-year diploma program that everybody begins with, and that is definitely an excellent career option as well. So come to the information session for electrical on Monday, and we'll be able to give you the full details on that. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. Ming, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Very impressive that you're doing this program. I think all programs at BCIT are really tough. And Anna, please feel free to share some advice too.
Well, one thing I can say about the marine engineering program is the intake is 15 people. So it's a very small campus. It's located separately in North Vancouver. So it's very intimate. You get to know your professors very well. And but then again, it's the same sort of situation. We started with 15 people, and by year 3, we have about 4 people left. So it really comes down to the effort you put in. You just have to keep trying and doing your best, and you will make it. Other than that, I would say get comfortable with math and science. That would really help a lot for my degree. Any kind of mechanical aptitude that you can bring to the table will really help. Wrenching experience is good, but don't worry, you can learn all of that at the program as well. I came into it with no experience, just a sociology background and an artist background, so you can do it. Communication is actually a very large part of marine engineering, so don't think you're just going to be alone doing things. You have to cooperate with people a lot in the marine world. One last thing I would say is that whatever natural skills you possess, use those to your advantage, because I know that it may not seem like it's relevant in engineering, but whatever you possess will help you succeed in this career path.
That's fantastic, Anna. Oh, actually, can everybody just look at the camera and smile? I'm just gonna do something for social media. Smile. Got it. Nice one, Anna.
Thank you. Thanks, Mary.
So, I mean, I got this perfect screen with all 5 of us together here, so it's really cute. On behalf of BCIT, we would like to thank all 3 of you amazing women for being part of our panel. And program advising's Ambreen and our entire team that's supporting us, like Lester and Joanne and Sam. And now next slide.
Marita, there's a couple more questions in the Q&A for them, but do we want to maybe take those at a later time?
I think we have time now to take some Q&A out loud if you want to.
Absolutely. You know, if there is more questions, please feel free to submit them in the Q&A boxes, and we're going to review some of those right now because we do have about 15 minutes, and I think we can answer a few of those.
So yeah, there were some that were specific to what was being said, so I just thought we could take those first.
Sure, absolutely. Alyssa, I see that you're typing on one of them. And this could be a question for all of us in all of our lives, but is there a healthy work-life balance in civil engineering? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I didn't realize that I was typing. I'll close that now. I feel like I have a really healthy work-life balance. I get to come into the office and do my work. And at the end of the day, that's the nice thing about being out in the workforce and not in school anymore. At the end of the day, I get to, go home and do the things that I love doing. I'm a rower, and just kind of spending time with my family and all of that. I think there's also opportunities, especially lately we've moved to more of a hybrid work environment, working a couple of days a week from home and a couple of days a week in the office. And it'll really depend company to company also, but I think that there's a lot of companies that value work-life balance, and my company offers a lot of benefits and employee support at work and outside of work, and not too much overtime. So I appreciate that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think I need to find the work-life balance. And thank you, Ambreen, for pointing out the questions for us. Marita, did you see any that you want to ask in that bunch?
Nope, just looking through here too.
I've identified one, and it is asking, what kind of assignments are you given as an engineering student? So I'm going to preface that with, we've got a lot of different engineering programs, and so we're going to go a little specific with the ones that we're representing here. And I'm going to ask Ming if she could help us with this question, and that is, what kind of assignments as an electrical engineering student, what kind of assignments are you getting, and how much of it is theoretical, how much of it is practical? Just as an idea.
I think it depends on different courses, because some courses all the courses have learned some theory and then you actually apply them. Like engineering degree, you have to do math courses. There's no doubt about it. So math, definitely all theory for sure. But if in terms of other less theoretical, like for example, the course I mentioned, like coding courses, like C++, and then we do a lot of very interesting projects like lab every week. Will be actually, I remember the intro to my C++ was designing a grading system for all the school, for all the students within the class, and then you will have and then that's a way to practice. And then another thing was we needed to program this machine to build this blueberry sorter, which is it recognizes the color and then move the servo motor and then say, oh, it's blue, so it's sorted this way, and then it's other color, so sorted the other way. And then that really challenged your coding skill and also your electronic skills as well. And then so I learned a lot from, and then it also projects like this also very valuable to show employee. You can tell them about, oh, I did this project, right? Instead of telling them, I got 100% in my quiz, it means nothing. What really matters is those projects you worked on that shows your skill, shows you have the ability to implement those theory into real life. I think. I hope that answered the questions.
You did answer that for me, and I'm hoping it did answer for our guest here. The other part that I will ask is, please do attend the specific information sessions so we can give you specific types of examples for each of those. And those are happening next week. So hopefully this is giving you a little bit of a taste for it, and you can come and find out a little bit more in depth with the specific one of your interest next week.
That's a good point, Marco. And I have a question I see here that attendee wrote. How, and maybe this would be a good one for Alyssa and Anna, or Anna maybe. It's, oops, it's moving around here. It's, how did you find a job after post-secondary? Anna, do you have a good answer for that? And Alyssa, you can join in too.
Well, I was very lucky because I found a job that I liked, and I met recruiters working for BC Ferries that encouraged me to do this program. So my job actually led me to my program. And I would say that BC Ferries is an excellent employer, and they are starving for marine engineers right now. There's such a strong demand. I'm doing so much overtime, so we need more engineers. So if you get in with BC Ferries, that's a great way to kickstart your marine engineering career.
Thank you so much.
That's a really great story, and I kind of like how you flip the script on, you know, finding a career that you liked and then coming in to get the education. I would say for me, I went to BCIT straight out of high school into the civil engineering program, and it was through my involvement with societies at BCIT that I started making connections with people out in industry. I found a company that I really wanted to work for. I got really excited about BINI in my first year. And so the civil engineering program, and I think other programs also have a project where you have to find an industry sponsor out in the field who will give you a school project that you can work on that is like the project that you'd be working on, you know, out in the real world. And I got my project with someone who works at BINI, and kind of I turned that into a career. But there's a lot of really great engineering companies that are really closely involved with BCIT. There's lots of different student company mixers throughout the year and events where you can network with people out in industry. So there's a lot of connections to be made there. And I know BCIT has incredible stats, over 90% of people getting hired right out of their programs. And I definitely saw that myself.
Yes, and you also helped some of the grads too get some jobs. So thank you so much.
Yes,
Alyssa.
it's nice to close that loop. We like hiring BCIT students.
Thank you. Over to you, Marco.
Thanks so much. I'm sorry, I was just typing another, I was trying to answer a question, typing at the same time and listening. I'm multitasking, and we've had some questions come up with other programs that are part of the engineering umbrella at BCIT, and I do want to ensure that we do answer all of your questions. The one part with that question for jobs, and one thing that, Marita, I'm sure that you get the same thing, but I am constantly getting companies that are reaching out and knowing that what they're going to get in terms of the quality of type of student that's going to be graduating from BCIT. And I am constantly getting industry calling me up saying, what is it that I can do to partner with you so I can get some of those grads working for me? And it's a great feeling for us. And we do work with our student association as well to make sure that the career fairs are happening for our students, that we do have the availability of jobs, because our job isn't just to get you into school. We want to get you into industry, and we want you to be a successful candidate in industry. Marita and mine jobs do not stop at just inviting you to come and talk to us here. We end up walking with you throughout your entire journey. And when you are in industry and we do meet up at a social event, you're buying us a drink. So that's just the way that we want to build our relationships with you.
I have to give a shout out to Ambreen. Every time I look at the questions, they're just all, she's finishing them all up for us. Great job, Ambreen.
So, so great. We have questions on mechatronics and robotics this evening, as well as biomedical engineering. And yes, we do offer those programs. And there is specifics for those programs. And thank you for the mechatronics question. We do transfer into the electrical engineering. So when you do the 2-year diploma, you can go into the electrical engineering degree program. But I don't recall off the top of my head if there was any bridging classes. Mechatronics is really a combination of electrical, mechanical, and software engineering. So we are very involved in all of these things.
Yeah.
So fun question. And then the biomedical engineering, it has an info session coming up as well. Sorry, Marita, go ahead.
That's okay, Marco. I just see that Alyssa's got a few questions here, and one of them is already partially answered by, so this is for Boston Robson. It's, I also would like to hear more about Alyssa's experience at the U of T. Did she work for a couple years first?
Thanks, Marita. So my work experience, like I said, I got my job here at BINI coming out of my second year diploma program at BCIT. So I did the 2-year diploma and worked for a year at a company that I made contact with through BCIT. And they supported me to go back and finish my the last 2 years to get my 4-year degree. And at that time, I graduated with my bachelor's, and I worked for a year as an engineering training. And I took a leave of absence from work in order to go do my master's at U of T, which was just kind of a personal goal of mine to get a postgraduate degree. And then I was able to come back to the job that I have. So I think like the most important part is just that BCIT really does offer the opportunities and the tools to get hired coming out of those programs.
Thank you, Alyssa. That's great.
Thank you so much. It's so great. I am conscientious of time here, and it is about 5 to 6, and so I don't want to keep everybody too late. But one of the things that has popped up in a couple of questions here, and I'm sort of summarizing it, is what is it that I need to study if I'm in high school, and what is it that how do I know which version of engineering I want to go into? And both are really valid questions. So first and foremost, the majority of our programs, and Marita, tell me, is civil a competitive entry?
Yes, I think it is.
So
yeah.
when it comes to the civil engineering, it is a competitive entry. So the better the marks, do they have to do any sort of application information, additional resumes, potential job experience, all that sort of thing with civil?
Yes, Alyssa would know this.
Alyssa and Marita, is that kind of part of it, or?
It's been many years since I first applied to BCIT. I'm not sure that I could recall the.
Okay. Thank you. Not a problem. So I do want everybody to look at the specific programs and the entrance requirements to ensure that they are following all those things. But when it comes to our electrical engineering, our marine engineering, you are going to have, and do look at those entrance requirements. For electrical, for mechanical, the ones that I really work with a lot, it is a first qualified, first in type of program. So the earlier that you apply, the sooner that you can get in. Mechatronics and robotics is a competitive entry one. And we are going to have cutoffs for you in terms of, we're going to do 3-month windows of where you can apply, and then we will choose the best of the best, those that have the best marks. But that's not the be all and all for all programs. Some of them are, just as I said, first qualified, first in. So you want to look at those entrance requirements and make sure you're doing those in high school. As for the ones that you think that you're not sure which engineering you want to do, we can't tell you that. You are going to need to do your homework, and you are going to need to find out which one would be appealing to you. I think Anna said it best earlier. It really kind of spoke to her to a degree. She really had a connection. Anna?
Yeah, and I would say that finding a perfect career is a very long journey. And I'm still on that journey, and I hope to have many different types of careers. But if you feel in your gut that these are the people you want to be around, this is what you want to be like, follow that intuition. It won't lead you astray.
Thank you. And Ming, for you, electrical engineering, how did it, did it call to you?
I wanted to do electrical because when I was in high school, I was doing physics course, and then we had like circuit analysis. And then when I learned about circuit analysis, I was like, wait, this is how electricity works. This is how I can turn on the light bulb in my house. And then I was like, I want to learn this.
Love that. Fantastic.
Yeah, I think we were talking a little bit earlier about how engineering is the application of technologies. And so you see engineering in the world around you every day. And whatever is what interests you. I'm not super interested in a light bulb. I'm more interested in the roads that I drive on. And that's how I ended up in civil engineering. So it, to some extent comes down to what you're interested in. I'd also say that there's lots of people who really enjoy talking to, especially high school students, about what it is that they do on a day-to-day basis and what options there are in careers. And so I encourage people to kind of reach out to the networks that they already have. Talk to your parents' friends. Ask your teachers if they know any engineers. And if you can talk to different people and see what it is that they do on a day-to-day basis, that's one of the best ways that you can figure out, I think, what of many engineering career paths might suit you best.
I think also when I was looking for engineering, I also definitely watched a lot of different YouTube videos. There are YouTube channels that actually talks about, different type of engineering. I think it was called 1% Engineer, something like that. I don't remember the channel name, but there's a lot of YouTube videos out there and YouTubers actually talking about different aspects of engineering. So yeah, so for high school students, I recommend watch more YouTube videos about, different types of engineering. I think that will also help.
Good tip.
Fantastic tip. So I want to thank you all so very much. It is at 6 o'clock hour, and I don't want to keep anybody too much longer. And even for our guests that are here learning about it tonight, because it is dinner time. We all want to have a bite to eat. So Alyssa, Anna, and Ming, thank you so very much for participating and joining us this evening and giving us such valuable insight and giving our guests such valuable insight that may help them direct their careers and their education, and hopefully with BCIT. I do want to throw out to everybody that is online, please remember that we do have the information sessions coming up, and to check out the programs that are featured here today, as well as the other programs that you've asked about tonight, and all of the engineering related programs. I'm sure that we do have something that's there for you. On behalf of BCIT, we thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. And we hope to see you around campus in person or online in the future. Have a wonderful evening.
And I'll stay on for just a couple more minutes and answer some questions, but if there is any. But thank you all. And again, thank you, Ambreen. Thank you, Joanne, Lester, everybody.
Thank you, Marco.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Marita.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Cheers.
Thanks.